the misconception behind influencer marketing and working with influencers and brands is that a lot of people think that an influencer is just like sent a product over the mail, and that's not necessarily the case.
Hello, Natasha from Forbes here, and this week on The Business of Influence, we are going inside the world of influencer marketing. So we've already talked about how social media stars turn their influence into cash. But on the flip side of things, how are marketers and agencies leveraging influencers to promote their products and events?
I definitely think, being a social media influencer is a big deal, and I think a lot of people around the world, don't really have that platform to, be able to decide what's cool and what's not.
I don't know if I necessarily purchase products because they're endorsed by certain people, but I think if I see something like trending enough on social media, then I'm influenced to end up buying it. I think if you know who you are and you're proud of who that is and you share it, then that becomes your personal brand. It's the things you like, it's the taste in food, it's the opinions on fashion or where you choose to travel. So that all in all becomes your personal brand, and it's almost like having a friend that you could connect with.
I think brands are choosing to work with influencers because they're smart. Influencers are really good at just connecting with their audiences, and if their product is really good and they love it, people will buy it. So brands are definitely smart to go out there and work with them.
One of the biggest shifts in marketing is the fact that a brand's message today doesn't have to come from the brand. So one of the bigger themes that we're seeing in the influencer marketing space is that brands are utilizing influencers not just for their audience, but also for their creativity.
Traditional marketing, as people kind of think about it, is much more one-sided, and then we're starting to move into, as an industry, very much that two-sided conversation piece.
It feels a lot more natural, it feels more authentic to the audience.
You can't just be thinking exposure anymore. There has to be that impact component, and there has to be that engagement piece that's so much more important.
I mean, for me, choosing the right partners has always been so important. Since the very beginning, I'd never done anything just for the money. So for me, it was always being super true to myself and to my style, and really picking the partners that could really work with me in the best way possible. Some of my favorite brands that I've been working with, somebody like BEHR. And it's amazing because we've been doing so many different projects, experiences, shows, videos, and so many different kind of things.
When we look to kind of pair an influencer with a brand, we're looking for a lot of things like their core values, sometimes brand safety, to what their following looks like and what platforms they have followings on.
Sometimes they'll present an idea to us, and it sometimes is not always the best idea, which is not always a bad thing because you're able to work with them and explain to them, okay, this isn't going to work because of this. And then, they give you these guidelines that you kind of have to fill in the blanks. So it's a very interesting puzzle. So it really is a group effort.
So much data available now that you can really build a way to put a value on that I think that's just going to help, because now we have a way to actually quantify what that's doing for a business versus just kind of this assumption that it's going to do something.
So influencer marketing won't just be who has the biggest reach, but who are your passionate customers, and how are these customers advocating for your brand in a way that helps you tell your story more effectively.
That's it for this episode. Make sure to leave your comments below and tell us what you think, and be sure to keep an eye out for the next episode of The Business of Influence.